When God called me from the burning bush, I said yes right away. Okay, maybe not right away, but eventually I did say yes.
Okay, well, here at Movie Guide, we love movies, we love Moses, we love miracles, and that's not in that order, but the whole show is like Promised Land and them experiencing all these miracles that happen in the wilderness. I'm curious, have you ever experienced something that you can't explain?
Yeah. Just me being part of this project. How did this happen? I mean, for me, it feels like, or even the chosen, I can't stop being grateful and just befuddled that, I'm in this position, because everybody works hard. I mean, maybe not everybody, but, I'm assuming everybody works hard and everybody's putting their best foot forward, but, there is, I don't know, luck, blessings, touch of God, and the more I ruminate on it and think about it, I'm just perplexed that, it feels like I'm living kind of in a miracle, and I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to pop them up,
Okay, I have been a huge fan of the show since the pilot came out a while ago, and I was heartbroken when I saw that there was a pause between the next episodes. Can you tell us about the project and your role?
Yeah, so the project is called The Promised Land, and in a nutshell, it's essentially the Moses story and The Office had a baby, and this is the offspring. And I play Moses. So, yeah, we shot the pilot in 2022. It wasn't released till 2024, and because of the online fan base that we had garnered, that we were able to get funding and finally shoot the first season in the fall of 2024 in St. George, Utah.
Oh, amazing. Okay, your Moses is probably one of my favorite Moseses ever.
Okay, that's the kind of it.
Can you tell us about your inspiration? Because your take is completely different than any other depiction that we've seen before. So how did you create this Moses?
Well, I think most of the credit goes to Mitch Hudson, the creator, writer, and director of the show. It's mostly on the page, but, when I started delving into the research of Moses and, because we have this idea of, this statuesque, leader, this prophet, one of the three in the Abrahamic traditions. But, you go back and you start reading Exodus and everything, and Moses believes in God, believes God is talking to him, believes God is choosing him, but he rejects the call. He refuses, he comes up with excuses. And I think in those instances, you'll find his humanity. And in the humanity, we can mine the comedy. And that is, that's essentially where the comedy comes from, is that he's chosen to be a leader, but he doesn't believe he can be. His self-doubt is so immense that he doubts God. He doubts God's choosing.
I have sinned, but God chose me anyway. It's not about being worthy. It's about being faithful to Him.
And I think in that is where a lot of the funny stuff comes out. And I think it's relatable because, I think we all have some level of imposter syndrome. And can I really do this? And you don't know if you don't go. And you've got to start acting, while you're not confident, while you don't believe in yourself, while all these things are going on. And I don't even know if I answered your question. Just one on our hands, I'm not sorry.
No, you did. You did. I want to ask, so you also star in The Chosen. What was that transition like, and how do the two sets compare? Because, they're similar, but they're also completely different.
Right. When I got the audition for The Promised Land, I had already been on The Chosen for 2 seasons. And I got called back for The Promised Land, and I was going to meet with the director. And, it was over Zoom. And, I see this shiny bald head, and I'm like, what? And, I didn't really know Mitch that well, but I'm so thankful that I remembered his name, because I was like, Mitch, And I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, I wrote it. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. Like, I had no idea, because I didn't have that much time to prep. So I didn't care about the writer's name, the director's name, I was just worried about the meat and the material, So, so then obviously Mitch works on The Chosen, and a lot of, especially for the pilot, I think most of the crew came from The Chosen, and out of their belief in Mitch and this project, they essentially kind of volunteered their services. But the sets are pretty, they're pretty similar. My approach to all of my work is essentially the same, it's all on the page. Like if it's not on the page, it won't be on the stage. So, although one is a comedy and obviously one is not, I feel pretty much the same, they're quite similar. But we do have like a lot of cast members. This is like a point of contention, is that everybody thinks that, Mitch found everybody from The Chosen, what the reality is kind of like reversed. It's just the pilot wasn't released for like, I think, 2 years. And the Dallas Jenkins, the director of The Chosen, saw the pilot and, pulled actors from the pilot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Speaking of the other actors, one of my favorite parts in the series is how you interact with the different characters, how everyone is so alive, and the chemistry that you guys have is so funny and so good. I'm not sure exactly which pairing is my favorite yet. You and Jethro, a soft spot. Yeah. How did the cast chemistry bring this story to life?
I think it's the credit goes to Mitch, and I talked to him about this, and I was like, how did you know that every person you casted was absolutely perfect for this project? Because you can't know, like, from an audition. At least I don't think I would be able to determine, a couple of readings that this person is perfect. And what he said, he was like, well, what was his exact wording? It was, it's not me. It's like, I think there's a bigger hand, guiding this. And so I was like, yeah, because there was no way he could have known. But yeah, and so he cast it perfectly, and everybody was tremendously talented and sweet, and our camaraderie off screen, I think, really shows up on screen, and there's like history there because we've known each other for years now, so it shows up on screen, I think, or at least I hope.
What's your favorite behind the scenes story? One where you're like, man, that was a good time.
Well, I think I've said this before. I said it on the Frozen podcast, but the last day of shooting, and we shot the last scene, me and Majid, who plays Aaron. And this is like the sweetest moment for me because I know how much it meant to Mitch. But it was the last shot, cut. He meandered up to us. And I was like, what's wrong with this? Okay. And, he just starts crying. And he's like, that's a wrap on season 1. And, I had never, Mitch, I don't know if you met or talked to Mitch, but he suppresses all of his emotions. So he doesn't look cool. He goes to the surface. He's always joking around. And that you just saw the pressure, the dedication, the commitment, all just kind of came out of him, and it was just so beautiful to see. And I was like, I'm so happy that he's happy,
Yeah. What are you most excited for people to see in the Promised Land series?
I just hope that I'm excited for people to just give it a chance, watch it, and fall in love with these characters the way that we, and I think if you like the pilot or even love the pilot, I think that you will not be disappointed with the first season.
Something feels different in a good way.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you want more content like this, head over to movieguide.org. Movieguide is a nonprofit organization, and we are supported every day by viewers like you.